watching Your Turn. If it matters to you, it's important to us.
President Obama trying to improve America's relationship with Muslims all over the world. He gave a speech in Cairo saying America had made some serious mistakes over the past 8 years while fighting the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq and seeking a settlement between Israelis and Palestinians. He made no concessions to Muslim terrorists, but he never actually used that word, terrorist, when he talked about America's enemies. The president's critics call that a mistake. You're here to take a look at what the president said and didn't say and how it's playing around the globe. Chris Hart, CEO of Hart Enterprises, former county commissioner, member of the Joint Chiefs of Staff in counterterrorism policies in the National Security Council during the Reagan years. Ahmed Bedier, president of the Tampa Hillsborough Human Rights Council, host of his own radio show, True Talk on WMNF Community Radio, and Susan Taylor Martin, senior correspondent who covers international affairs for the St. Petersburg Times, has traveled extensively to Afghanistan and Iraq. I thank you all for being here. Ahmed, I'm going to start with you. As a Muslim, you heard what the president had to say. What did he say right? What did he say wrong? Or what did he omit?
I think he said a lot of right things. Obviously, he had some good advisors advising him this time, much better advisors than Bush had. I think the speech was long, but very comprehensive. It covered just about all the points of differences and issues between the West and the Muslim world. And, you know, the confrontation and the clash of civilization, as some people called it in the past, between the West and the Muslim world is the issue of our lifetime. And he understands that. In order to have peace in the world, he's going to have to build better relationships. And that's why he went to Egypt. I'm originally from Egypt, the heart of the Muslim world, the heart of the Arab world, and spoke, I think, directly to the people, saying that, hey, this is a new beginning. I'm here sincere, and we're not going to tell you what to do. We will have to work together. I think some things that he omitted is possibly criticizing some of the dictatorships that exist in the Middle East, not going far enough as far as democracy reform. Obviously, he didn't mention the word terrorism, but I think that's part of the strategy. In order to build better relationships, he has to come up with new language.
It's an inflammatory term,
exactly.
Right? Let's face it.
It's loaded, and I think violent extremism works a lot better than trying to link Islam with terrorism, which, in my opinion, there's no connection.
Didn't strongly enough advocate democracy for countries where there is a dictatorship. And I think what he was trying to say is we should not impose our system of values on other countries, right, which is clearly an issue in the Muslim world, is it not?
It clearly is, and that's part of the big problem that they've had with the Bush administration. Bush administration wanted to enforce democracy their way or the highway. It's either you're with us or against us, and we're going to choose your leaders even for you. So Obama's coming with a different message saying, we want to promote democracy your way. You should have the right to self-determination. But I think some people criticize that he didn't go far enough, calling for enough democratic reforms in that part of the world. Going back to the Israeli-Palestinian issue, again, this wasn't a policy speech about the Israeli-Palestinian issue alone. I think a lot of times the right wing of the Jewish politics or the Israeli politics, they are oftentimes too sensitive, thinking that it's the whole speech is about their issue. And this topic, this discussion wasn't, or the speech was not just about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. I don't think he made a comparison between the Holocaust and the plight of the Palestinians, because obviously there's no comparison. There are 6 million Jews that were killed. The Israelis did not kill 6 million Arabs, so there's no comparison. But he was simply stating facts of history and saying, look, we have a commitment, America has a commitment to the Jewish state or the Israeli state because of the things that have happened during the Holocaust, and they've had a lot of suffering. But the Palestinians also had suffering. We're not equal, you know, he wasn't trying to say, well, who suffered the most? But I think he was just laying out the facts, and I think Palestinians, even though they didn't think he went far enough, still felt that the message was the right tone, and he's trying to make things better.
We have some emails coming in. I want to get to them, but we're going to take a break and be right back. Stay right there. I want to ask you, too, the fact that his father was Muslim, does that give him more credibility?
Well, we saw during the campaign that Obama stayed away from making references to his personal Muslim background for political reasons. And everything that Muslims wanted him to say during the campaign, he said it yesterday. Look, I come from not only just my father, but generations of Muslims, and that contributed to who I am. I went to Indonesia, I studied there, and that contributed to who I am. So he's using that now as leverage to gain credibility within the Muslim world, and used many references, citing the Holy Quran, praised Islam. Not only that, before making his points, he said that Islam contributes so much to the world civilization, something that's oftenly omitted by Western historians and teachers, that somehow Muslims didn't contribute anything to the world. And
he talked about extensively about
how much influence they've had, and the universities and the algebra and the mathematics and the sciences and the medicine. So obviously he had very good advisors, and I think all of that got him credibility. I mean, he got 33 different ovations, and at the end a standing ovation. Somebody blurred out in the middle, "We love you, Obama." I mean, this is happening in Egypt, and my parents, I talked to them on the phone, they are in Egypt right now, and they're saying everybody's happy with his message, with his speech, with the tone. And even, I mean, now they're just waiting for the action to happen. But the fact that he went there, not part of the world, words mean a lot. Symbolism means a lot. And one of the often complaints that we always hear is, well, what problems do you have with America? Well, the American administrations don't respect us. They're dehumanizing us. Well, obviously, Obama showed a lot of respect yesterday.
She says, "I feel this is just a continuation of Obama's apology tour. I feel we as Americans don't need anyone to apologize for us. We've only tried to help other countries. I feel the Muslim nations need to apologize to us." Why doesn't he bring up the fact that only a few days ago a new convert to the Muslim religion shot 2 American soldiers, killing one? This is in Arkansas, of course. She asked, where's the apology for this?
Where's the apology? I mean, these are, again, neoconservative, right-wing talking points. Do people around the world ask Christians to apologize for the killing of the abortion clinic doctor the other day? I mean, random acts of violence are random acts of violence. Whoever you are, and you should be prosecuted. And that's been the problem in previous years since 9/11, to continue to blame the 1.5 billion Muslims around the world for the actions of a few criminal terrorists. That the best way to fight terrorism is through policing. If you have a gang right down the street that takes a bank hostage, you don't go bomb the whole neighborhood. You send in the police, you send the bomb squad, you go in and resolve the problem and arrest the people and bring them to justice.
I mean,
so it should be a policing matter.
Why don't more law-abiding Muslims like you speak in condemnation of terrorists? No, more. I know that you do.
They're speaking loud and clear. It's being filtered. Not enough is getting out there. Look, as the president said yesterday, the majority of people that are dying at the hand of these terrorists are Muslims themselves. More Muslims have died because of terrorism than 10 or 20 times as much on 9/11. And 9/11 was horrific, but more and more Muslims are dying and continue to die. Just today alone, there was a bombing in Pakistan because of this type of violent extremism. Muslims are fed up themselves, but they need partners from around the world. They can't do it by themselves. And instability, like the Afghanistan war, the Iraq war, the Palestinian-Israeli conflict, all these things breed this type of terrorism. So what the president was trying to lay out, hey, a new beginning. We have to work together to reduce terrorism, and it's going to have to make we're going to have to make some changes in the policies itself. Terrorism is a tactic. So you can't fight terrorism. You can't launch a global war on terrorism. That's why President Obama abandoned it. The policies of the past 8 years have been absolute failures. Even the Department of State's own report on terrorism has shown that terrorism has skyrocketed since the events of 9/11 and the invasion of Iraq and Afghanistan and others. Terrorism is continuing to rise, and I think the Obama administration realizes that, and they want to change and have a new beginning. I think he's right on message to go in that different direction.